Maybe
Bring up.
share
Well,
the PowerPoint.
that's not what I was trying to bring up.
Of
There we
course,
go.
as soon as I say away.
There we go.
There's Desi. Want to go ahead and share the PowerPoint?
Okay, how did I not share it? Okay, hold on.
Bear with us. Mikey's needing to learn the ropes.
Yeah, and
Do I need to share on my
share
end?
screen. No, there we go. Share screen.
Okay.
Share screen. That one. Hot dang, I think I got it.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Woo-hoo.
Okay,
Stick them up, partners.
one down.
Cowboys and aliens are coming to Bandera October
Woo!
22nd. This is our monthly meeting report for Guilds of Requiem. This includes the Guilds of Requiem Incorporated Network and Family of Fun, Space Station Requiem, Steampunk Unit, Requiem's Events of Texas, and introducing Requiem International. So what is our agenda for today? We're going to do reporting by the guilds with general updates. We're going to do departmental reporting and general updates for Space Station Requiem. Steampunk Unit and Requiem's Events of Texas are both going to kind of merge in with each other because Bantucky Con supports our Steampunk Unit, which is science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, and more, where we marry it with science fiction and make learning fun. We're also going to go over monthly vending at the Palmarosa. So our mission, who's Guilds of Requiem? We create intentional communities for the express purpose of networking across multiple industries. We provide educational opportunities that focus on agrarian, crafters and artists, guardianship, merchant services, human and humane resources, the pursuit of knowledge, and the continuation of trade skills from one generation to the next. We also provide affordable and family-friendly community activities that focus on education and fun. So we're going to reporting by the guilds. We're going to start out with some general announcements. Then we're going to talk about our different guilds and who they are and what they do and what they have to report this month. First, we're going to start off with our board of directors. So we're kind of working on this a little bit. I am the president, Robin Kearney Frazier. We have Mikey as our secretary, Christopher Van Cleve, who's that way, is our treasurer. Our director of international projects is Carlos Alex Gulissi. Currently, our interim director of consumer relations is Matthew Frazier. We are going to be starting to meet twice a year for our board meetings. So we've got one coming up next weekend that is open to members to attend. And then we have moved it, the January one, to the last Saturday of January so that we can have the maximum amount of time between our two times, you know, and as board members, we actually get to enjoy the same holiday break that we give everybody else. Our board of executive directors, these are going to include our vice presidents and our guild masters. We do have vice president of educational services currently vacant. Gilded projects is Mikey. Our international projects is Matthew. And the VP of Requiem Kenya is Xavier Mapenga. Our guild masters, we have a lot of opening positions and we're working on the process on how we would like to fill these with appointed people. Currently, Christopher is acting as our interim for the agrarian. Mikey's acting as interim for crafters. Carlos is acting interim for guardians. Matthew Frazier is actually in charge of the International Guild. Mikey is actually in charge of the Merchants Guild. Christopher is actually in charge of the Resources Guild. In the interim, Matt is the Scholars Guild Master, and he is also our Technicians Guild Master. Part of our qualifications for the Guild Master is we are asking for the person or prospective candidate to be an active member of Guilds of Requiem for more than 1 year. The reason that we do this is because just off of these first few pages, you can see we are a very complex nonprofit organization. We have very specific values and business philosophies that we hold very closely to be an integral part of how we run Guilds of Requiem. Yes, we can make money. We are allowed to have revenue to be self-sufficient and income producing, but our overall mission is a nonprofit one of networking, community services, and education. And we want to make sure that we have the right fit before we put somebody into one of these positions. You know, having worked the corporate world for many, many years, it was very, very frustrating to think that we found the perfect candidate to fill one of the positions, and then they get in there and they start working, and we realize that, wow, their values are really different from our corporation, and it ended up being very detrimental. So we would rather take our time to get to know the person before, you know, and them to get to know us. It's a two-way street before we offer them a guild master position. The second thing about it is they do have to have a qualifying background. We will be putting applications up on our maiden website probably before the end of the year. For those who don't know, we obtained our nonprofit status 3 years faster than our original plan. So a lot of things that I had scheduled to have done in the next 3 years, well, I need to do them now. So we got to get them done first. So we'd like to welcome new members, Bibi and the Palmarosa RV family. She is the host of was the host for Ren Fair of 2022. They're hosting BantuckyCon, and they're co-hosting Ren Fair next year, along with having our third Saturday market days at Palmarosa, which we co-host. Megan Perkins, she is one of my kids by another mother. She is a dog trainer specializing in service dogs, now living in New Mexico. Website work. There is a lot of it. I am working on basically creating the master plan, the whole site map that goes over our main website and all of our sub websites and how everything ties together. Yeah. And when I publish it, I will put some sort of asterisk or mark or indication where anybody can contribute to these. This is not the Guild of Robin. It's not the Guilds of Robin Incorporated. It's the Guilds of Requiem Incorporated. Requiem means final rest. Yeah, we're going to leave it right there. We do have Guilds of Requiem email accounts. Only our brand products will have a vanity email account. So that's one of those examples would be Sixth Sense Apothecary at guildsofrequiem.com. Everyone else will have a Gmail account that is relevant to their position of what they're doing. All else fails, requiemranch@gmail.com. That comes to me. I will light the fire under the right person. But also if somebody gets kicked out of their email, or they can't remember their password, or they lock their account up, they're going to have to contact me. I do get notified anytime somebody new logs in on a new device. That is something that we have set up as a cybersecurity protocol. So if they get kicked out, it does require me to be up and functional to get you back into your email. Yes. Our website is pretty much templated. Their content, like I said, content information can be posted by anyone. A lot of our websites are informational, and it's related to that one. So this is the Agrarian Guild. That's going to be anything that has to do with homesteading, has to do with anything with being a prepper, aquaponics. We even put Requiem's Kitchen on there as a blog. So anybody who has recipes that they would like to share, we now have an avenue where everybody can see our recipes. I am going to ask, though, that if you're sharing your recipe, put the recipe first, and then tell us what's so special about it. Most of us can agree that there's nothing more frustrating to finally find a recipe that you're looking for, and you got to scroll, and then eventually you get to the recipe. Why I love to talk, and I generally love to hear other people to talk. When I'm hungry, I'm a Taurus. Don't get between me and my food. Simple as that. Aquaponics update. Our duck pond is very happily being used by our ducks. We do need to add a bog filter in because 15 ducks and 2 dozen goldfish creates a lot of biomass that our pump filters are having a hard time staying caught up with. So that, is a little bit extra work. Once we get the bog filter going, that's basically nature's way of filtering out the poo. It should stay a lot cleaner and be a lot easier to maintain. We do have tomatoes for our animals are growing using the duck pond water. Now, before everybody grosses out and says, ew, duck poo, the animals are eating these tomatoes. The tomatoes that are growing and being very happy in the duck pond area are for the animals. They're not for human consumption. So just want to clarify that. The aquaponics area is nearly covered and framed in. We do have a Requiem's Garden, CSA, which is community shared agriculture. A lot of the projects are on hold right now because we need to devote the budget to BantuckyCon and other parts of Guilds of Requiem that are needing it badly. We do have fresh and, well, actually, no, we don't have fresh. With the heat, our gals have been kind of on a laying strike, and we have got some sort of critter that's managing to get into Velociraptor City and eating the eggs. We do have water glassed eggs. That is about 3 dozen eggs into a container that should have a shelf life of a year or longer, available for CSA members. How to be a member of the CSA? We always need help with the chicken coops. We always need help with the chickens. There's always plenty of things to be done here that if you volunteer a couple hours a week, whatever we're getting for eggs or produce that's growing from the aquaponics, you share in that bounty. We're not just take, we give too. And lately I've been finding that I have to magically sneak stuff into their vehicle before they leave. But we do make sure that we take care of our members with everything that we have raising and growing here. Go ahead and click me to the next page, Mikey. Crafters and Artists Guild. I kind of have it templated. I'm not sure. This one is one of them that, while we have a lot of crafters, when we sat down to say, what do we want on a website, everyone's like, crafting stuff? Okay. So I think I have it templated, and we'll probably Monday. Oh, I got doctor's appointment. Hopefully before the end of this week. My goal is to start promoting a guild a week along with any of our vendors, or the Vendors Guild a week leading up to BantuckyCon. So you'll see it being posted onto the actual guild page and then shared to all the other ones. If you're unsure what you can contribute, please contact me. I'm Robin or Rasha Anateo on Facebook. I'll be more than happy to listen to the type of content that you want to have posted. It's been working really well. Having somebody create a Google Docs that has the text and the pictures, all how they envision it to be laid out, for me to just essentially copy and paste it on the website. That just went so fast the other day. It was pretty phenomenal. Our Bards and Gamers Guild, the project leader positions are available once again. And again, you do have to be an active member for at least 1 year before you apply to these. We will then, go forward from there. Mikey, I didn't put anything under Master Procrastinators Facebook group. That's my fault. I don't think I looked at the report. She did submit the report, but time got away from me along with everything else. But we do have a Facebook group called Master Procrastinators. There is also Master Procrastinators links on the Crafters Guild website. So that shall help. Guardians Guild. This one has come out of the blue and snuck up on me. And I'm really hoping the people who help generate some of these ideas and get the groundwork formed, they're going to be able to come in and be a permanent part of it. Our website is templated. Anybody who can provide content. We are working on several different things that can be posted during the week. Like this morning, we did a Cyber Safety Sunday. We usually do Health and Safety Saturdays with the Yanaga PhD. That's pretty hip dragon. We can easily work in any other type of theme that you would like to see on a specific week. You don't have to actually post it on that day. We give you moderator permission so that you can schedule the post and it goes out to our social media accounts. It's a really fantastic feature to use. New to the Guardians Guild is Haven of Requiem. these are our public membership groups. Anybody can join these once we get them up and active. There's still in formation, groundwork. They're needing to create their chapter charter. Somebody needs to be leading them because I don't think I can spin any more plates. But our first one is Guardians, and those are open to first responders and anybody in risk management and security. The second one that they came up with is our healers. Those are any of our medical professionals. If you have to have a certificate to do your job in the medicine world, that's the group for you. Our third one is our warriors. Being a vet myself, anybody who has served in the military or currently serving in the military has a very special place right here. Yeah, I don't know if y'all can see, I'm pointing to my heart. But this is military personnel, any duty status. So that's active, reserve, veteran, retired. We are going to ask to see your DD 214 because if you're dishonorably discharged, I'm sorry, this is probably not going to be the group for you for many reasons. The Service and Working Dog Handlers Guild does have an updated logo, does have an updated header and everything else. I've been getting a lot of really good feedback on that. It is a public group available to all methods of training service dogs and the handlers. Our website form is still under construction. It is also open to any working dogs. So that's going to be your police, search and rescue, bomb dogs, therapy dogs. Somebody asked me about their guard dog and their herding dogs. Guard dogs, I would say yes, because it has to have specialized training to behave in the public. So if it's just your guard dog for at home, where you don't have to make sure that it's not going to rip the shreds out of another dog or a person coming onto the property, probably not going to be for you. You're still welcome to help with some of the learning and the training bits. Same way with herding dogs, they don't require any special training for public access. So it's kind of the basis of which dogs are, which teams are falling under this guild. So essentially, if your dog needs to have public access training, this is the place for you. Yes, we do focus on service dogs because that is the largest area where there are so many misconceptions and falsehoods and myths that go around about what rights a service dog team has. We go one step further with stating that every team has a responsibility to ensure that they are giving the best possible impression about their type of working dog that we can have. The meetings are going to resume on the third Saturdays of the month. It will be after the market days of Pomarosa ends. Typically, it will be $10 a team. This covers our space rental and it covers any trainer that may be giving a presentation that day. If you are the trainer, you and your team don't need to pay anything because we're paying you to be there. September is the only month that will be $5 a team, and that is to cover the rental of our space and asking Miss BB to keep her gates open a little bit longer for us to have our meeting. We do ask that you keep your canine companion leashed and under your physical control at all times, and to please clean up after any doggy doo-doos so that they don't get tracked through people's campers, shopping areas, and everything else. Next page. Merchants Guild of Requiem. Yeah, I've got the header done on the Merchants Guild. It is way open for what type of content do we want on the Merchants Guild. I can tell you that there will be a link for merchant services, and as we find people who are willing and ready to freelance, but they don't want to create their own website or they don't want to have to pay for a freelancer website and they're wanting to be a part of the Guilds of Requiem family, we are more than open to them, and we'll negotiate rates with them and everything else. Also on there will be the Vendors Guild of Requiem. And this will basically be the links to filling out applications. We do have an annual contract for our Vendors Guild. Basically, this is the opportunity for someone to say, yes, I'm committing to Guilds of Requiem for another year. I want to help. We understand that running a website is expensive. This is, We have a minimum amount plus some other conditions, and we're trying to keep that affordable. I did get a couple of feedback about, wow, why does it cost so much if I have a lot of products? Well, if you're not maintaining your own website, your own products on our website, I have to pay somebody else to do that. I have to pay somebody else to add the products to the website. We will gladly teach you. I have no problem, and Mikey has no problem with sitting down and teaching you how to use our website for that lower rate. There are benefits to belonging to the Vendors Guild of Requiem. Everywhere that we host an event, we ask for at least one 10x10 space for every single vendor in our guild. If you need more than a 10x10 space, it is at cost. So for right now, for BantuckyCon will be the example. Right now, spaces are $50 for a 10x10. Our cost is $25. So if you want to have 3 extra spaces, that's going to be $75 versus $150. We're giving up our percentage of the vending fee as a benefit to our vendors. I had some other things in my head that are benefits, having a presence on the website, being promoted. Anytime we see that you've posted something on your Facebook page, we share it to our Vendors Guild page. We share it to our Merchants Guild page. We help get the word out there about you and your products. So those are some of the benefits to it. We do have brands, guilds, and services listed on them. The first one is Merchant Services of Requiem. Like I said, that's anybody with graphic design background, website building, SEO. I can't think of the word now. Somebody goes in and checks your SEOs and tells you if your website is good or not, or how you can optimize it. Sorry, words are failing me. The second part is Requiem Events of Texas, where Mikey is the one that is chairing that up. And that is basically our event. For right now, it is our internal event coordinators. So if it's an event that we host or co-host, this is where Requiem Events of Texas becomes involved. If you are an external company or organization that would like our services to help coordinate an event where there is a mutual benefit, please reach out to us and let us know. We'll see if our schedule meshes up with when you want to have your event, and let's start a dialogue. And third and final is the Vendors Guild of Requiem. Our current marketing is BantuckyCon. It is running through October the 1st. I currently have one for Market Days at Palmarosa running, and this is the third Saturdays, 9 a.m. until 5 p.m., and it's September through May. Big reminder to all of our members, please share any post that is relevant to events.
Share.
I
had to do it. I'm sorry.
I had just had a song come into my head about that because we were talking to somebody that wanted us to help coordinate an event that they wanted to have on December 17th. And I, broke my heart to have to tell them, no, we're already committed to that day. And I offered them, I said, we could do it December 31st. And they're like, well, why would we want to do it then? I said, if I could turn back time. And she's like, oh God.
Oh, that would be so cool. See, that could be
have a share lookalike competition. That's right.
Oh, that's so funny.
So the Resources Guild of Requiem. Wow, that is one that's still, it's a website that needs a lot of work to it yet, because it's very complex, and because a lot of it is internal services only. We really don't have that much of a public presence for our Resources Guild out there, other than social media accounts that shares what's happening on all of our other accounts. Earlier this year, we voted on merging with Haven of the Dragon, which is a world religions educational group. We do offer life services. I believe we have 3 or 4 ULC ordained ministers in our group now. We have gotten a notification from the state comptroller that they have acknowledged that Haven of the Dragon is ceasing to be an entity, and I can now forward that to the state secretary. And that's going to be one of my phone calls this week, is find out where that letter is, because I haven't gotten my little green card saying that it was received. So like I said, essentially the Haven of the Dragon website and social media accounts are kind of just hanging out for now. Haven of the Dragon will fall under our Scholars Guild. So yes, education is really, really important. Our internal education is kind of more important at the moment before we start working on an external one. And essentially it means Robin has to have time to teach is what it amounts to. We do have brands, guilds, and services under Resources Guild. The biggest one is Space Station Requiem. It does have a dual identity. We do play in our own universe, but we are also a member of Starfleet Command Quadrant 1 as a unit. We are currently, I was told that we are a large unit. So Starfleet Command only has like 3 or 4 of them. 95% of our membership is lifetime members, so our unit will never go away. Mikey and I take turns of reminding each other to submit the SPAR report, so we will always stay compliant with our reporting. It is kind of sort of sitting there nice and quiet, other than me posting a bunch of stuff to the public group, and I've seen some other people chime in too. So we're having lots of fun with that. We did get invited, Space Station Requiem did get invited to participate in some other groups online on Facebook. So that was really cool to be able to kind of put a quick blurb out there about us, that we are open to all fandoms. While our current logo and icon is heavily Star Trek, and you probably look, once we get our uniforms done, you'll probably go, that looks fairly familiar, but I'm not quite sure which genre it is. Well, that's because it's our own genre, everybody. We welcome all fandoms, any era, any universe, any genre. I mean, I think we've got a couple of horror people in there that do indie productions of horror movies that maybe if Chris Ambrose is watching, he might remember to promote in Space Station Requiem and get more attention for El Dia de los Muertos productions. Was that subtle enough? Okay. we also have the world's super group of amazing people on Facebook. This one is all about having fun and being uplifting and being supportive. And I guarantee you'll have at least one daily, oh my God, that's so cute, I'm gonna cry, in there. It is open to everyone. We do have the 3 questions set up, and we do have it set up so that if you've had your Facebook account for a while, you can automatically get approved in it. All of our groups, if you have not had your Facebook account more than 2 years, guess what? I'm going to stalk your page before I hit approve. And you do have to answer our questions, and you do have to agree to our group rules. Otherwise, it's an auto decline after 7 days. And once again, I got to remind all of our members, share, 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 share.
That was not supposed to happen. Hold on. Don't know how that happened. That was weird.
Scholars Guild of Requiem. The website is actually, I think I might have the website templated at this point. Content of educational value, or creating of quizzes, fun quizzes for any genre, any episode, any movie, any book. If somebody were to come to me and say, hey, I'd like to do a Harry Potter series of Quizlets and educational forums based on all the books, I'm gonna say, really? You're my new hero. I love you so much. We'll talk about it. We do, under the Scholars Guild, we have several brands, guilds, and services. Gilded projects is kind of the word that is missing from there. I've already talked about Haven of the Dragon as our world religious educational forum. Our Hope Haven Academy is adult education. GED and ESL and ASL courses are very close and near and dear to my heart. There are so many people out there that I know that struggled and didn't quite get their GED, or their high school diploma, and they just can't get going in the world without that little piece of paper. Hope Haven Academy is here to help you. That is one of the projects we're trying to get up and off the ground as quickly as we can. Our Learning Pavilion of Requiem is basically who's in charge of all of our little courses. Who is going to be accountable to what we're offering to the public, and is there going to have to be a fee to cover materials or rental equipment or whatever? That all falls under the Learning Pavilion of Requiem. Space Station Requiem Academy, that is our group for anything that is fandom based, you know, that we're probably going to start out with, I think Star Trek and Marvel, I think are the ones that have been kind of popping up lately when we have discussions, you know, for people who are bedridden and don't get to get out that much and might be possibly binging, may have just binged Stargate for an undocumented number of times. So yeah, expect to see when I have time and brain cells to devote to it, or other people have brain cells to devote to it, start seeing some courses coming up there. Our Steampunk unit, that is the one that everybody is hearing about the most right now with Kentucky coming up. STEAM is a acronym for science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And we have those fun learning topics slammed in with science fiction and fandom. You know, it's always amazing to see what was science fiction is now science fact, what's currently science fiction and is a potential to be science fact. That is kind of where we have the fun with it. And the other one that's kind of was a springboard for Guilds of Requiem is the Vendor's Apprentice Guild. This guild is for any hobbyist crafter who is looking to take their crafting to the next level and start selling. We're going to help you with that. If you're a member of the Vendor's Apprentice Guild, we help walk you through. Do you need a sales tax ID for the craft or products that you're making and selling? Or are you just offering a service? Is it a taxable service, untaxable service? What do you need to get from the IRS? How do you file your taxes every year? How do you market your product? And the biggest one we always get is, what do I price it? How do I price? So that is what the Vendor's Apprentice Guild is. It is open to all ages. That includes your lemonade stand kids and any other kind of stand that you can think of. I think we've had slime stations run by young entrepreneurs. We've seen the whole gamut in the 6 years that we've been doing this now. Next one, Technicians Guild. Yeah, it's sort of templated. While I like the logo, I think I need to change the coloring of the lettering because it gets lost on it. It's probably going to be our very last guild to go from internal only to external services. And the main reason is we need a larger membership base that is contributing and has the knowledge to be able to make these programs take off and go. Until that point, our website's going to contain mostly how-to. How-to content can be posted by anyone. If you're unsure of what you can contribute, please contact me. We have brands, guilds, and services with a tentative launch date for the 24-25 fiscal year. The IRS has determined that our fiscal year runs from September 1st to August 31st. So we're getting ready to close out our first official fiscal year as a nonprofit. One of the things will be Guild's construction services. This is going to be low cost renovation. Specifically, we're hoping to gather funds to be able to offer no cost renovations or repairs to those who are elderly or disabled. We're aiming to have a technical services, Ben, where we'd like to be able to offer home automation, networking, computer PC repair, and not only offer it, but also have somebody who's willing to mentor new people coming into the technicians. And the same goes with the construction, and that falls under our technicians apprenticeship program, which as we get closer and are more definitive on how it's going to run, we'll definitely publish more information. Next page. Introducing Requiem International Products. It's sort of templated. I had a nice little email that means that I need to add a couple more pages or links to their web pages if they already have them. A decision was made originally. International projects was going to fall under resources. And as we got to looking what we had been doing with Requiem Kenya, we decided that it kind of needs to be its own freestanding guild. We put it before our board of directors. Everybody said, yes, we totally get it. Website content is aimed mostly at other locations in the United States. So when I say that, that means the information that we are providing, I am only an expert in what happens in the United States for running a business and how a chapter would, if somebody would like to start their own Guilds of Requiem chapter in the United States. We have to rely on the people coming to us and reaching out saying, we would like to be a chapter of Guilds of Requiem to tell us what are your laws? Where do we find your laws? How can we best help you? Are you just needing a template, a business plan? Are you needing a mission statement? How can we help each other? So that is why it's still kind of in limbo land. We're working on it. And I kind of sort of had a little bit too much fun with the acronym for Requiem International Projects, because let her rip, chapters. Right now, Requiem Kenya, that is our longest and oldest standing chapter that we have. We have dialed back our involvement and increased our contact with Xavier that's over there, and Carlos, who's in California. We're starting to have more conversations about how are we going to reorganize this so that it not only fits our mission statements, but is also legally compliant in the country that they are in. What can we do to help benefit each other? Advertising for additional inner chapters was going to begin February 1st with a tentative launch of the marketing campaign set for September 1st of 2025. So we have a lot of time to make this happen. I received an email from Hope Haven of Requiem, Iceland. That is Josue's project. They have, before Josue passed away, he received his non-governmental organizational status. They are currently working on a website that they hope that we will be able to redirect people from ours to theirs. And the amazing thing that they are doing with foster children who are essentially aging out of the system, that have nowhere to go, and basically are now, oh yeah, here, you're an adult, figure it out on your own. So they have gone from a single 3-story warehouse to 4 now. In 2 years, they have gone to 4 warehouses. They have the offices and the original plan in the main building, with some people kind of living there so that it's always attended. They have one that's purely educational. They hold teaching seminars and everything else in the second building. It does have aquaponics. It does have some other things going on, making sure that they are able to get into university if they choose to. They have one that houses all boys and one that houses all girls now. So the original 20 is now almost 280.
Wow.
Youth and young adults that are living in the program. When I saw that email, my jaw dropped. Because when we lost Josue, I kind of thought, okay, well, that's the last we're ever going to hear of that program. But they have been, his Christian has been really diligent in every quarter, kind of giving me a mini update, even if it's just, oh my gosh, we're so busy, I can't think straight. I've gotten several of those. The other one that kind of surprised me is he is the widow of my 3rd cousin in Ireland. He would like to start a chapter in Ireland, a haven of Requiem in Ireland. So we will be, working with, I'll be working with him, or getting Matt to work with him, or Carlos to work with him. Depends on his comfort level, who he wants to talk to. It is family lands. So yeah, I'm 3 or 4 generations removed from it, but Kearneys originally were the landholders of this property. So that kind of blew my, hey, we're going to not do anything until 2025 out of the water. But it still gives them a couple years before we get to our official launch dates for those. So I told everybody to not panic. It's really great news. We get life is happening. So let's give it a couple of years before, we go full force with everything and started actively seeking new chapters. Space Station Requiem, departmental reporting. This is our fan club organization. We are your gateway to adventure in the hill country. Well, as you can see, our logo is pretty much Star Trek. We do welcome everybody. I'd like to thank everybody who helped make UFO Festival an out of this world event yesterday. We had lots of fun. Mikey, how many flyers did we have left? We started with
like that big now.
We started out with 500. We started out with 500 flyers. Between what you had and what we made, it was 500 flyers. So we handed out a lot of flyers. I've been seeing a lot of new engagement on our websites through the analytics.
Yay.
We sent out 3 emails.
I sent out 2.
Sign up.
Yeah.
2. So we are going to have a vendor sign up sheet in September and October at the market days of Pomarosa. So if there's any vendor there that wants to sign up at that time, pay on the spot, just remember, we do not start advertising until we have received payment. Command staff, myself and Mikey, we're going to have to apologize right now. Our attention has been divided and needed elsewhere. We sincerely hope you're enjoying the content that we are posting into our public group on Facebook. It is probably going to be a while until we can get more people on board to help take over some of the spinning plates before we can devote honest to goodness time back to Space Station Requiem. But please don't anybody get discouraged. We are not going away. Space Station Requiem has so many lifetime members now. And Mikey and I, like I said, we're diligent on reporting. Even if it's nothing happened this month, we're still diligent on reporting. This meeting right here counts as participation and activity. We are refocusing and refunctioning how our awards are going to work, because in the previous years, it was all basically Space Station Requiem, but we would like to recognize everybody Guilds of Requiem wide. So that is going to be one of our topics of content at our meeting September 3rd. Space Station Requiem Academy, like I said, we have courses under development. It's open to anyone who wants to provide content and quizzes for any fandom. We use Google Forms. You're welcome to create it. Once you create it, change the ownership over to Space Station Requiem Academy, and we will maintain everything from there. Next page. Com Ops, please keep Jeff in mind. He's currently going through a lot. He is our communications and operations. He's our number 3 in command. We do have 2 email addresses that are functional for the communications and operations department. Of course, the first one is ssrcommunicationsoperations@gmail.com. We did go ahead and resubscribed our Guilds of Requiem one. It does dump into the customer service one, but it tells us where it came from. Engineering and search and rescue, those are our recruiting departments. Engineering is local, search and rescue is long distance. Everyone is currently prepping for BantuckyCon. When I typed this up, the banner design had been ordered. For those who came to UFO Festival yesterday, you got to see the banner. Medical and Sciences is also prepping for BantuckyCon. They help provide and inventory our first aid station and our Mother's Den in conjunction with Guardians Guild. Security and Marines, once again, they're prepping for BantuckyCon. Security Marines are our volunteer coordinators and our event venue coordinators. Basically, they're the ones that are going to know where everything is and how to help, and they're our gophers. They are working with Requiem Events of Texas on the event map. They will be the ones that should be easily identified to know where to find things. Steampunk Unit, a youth organization that focuses on science, technology, engineering, arts, crafts, and more. Big long thing, we condensed it down to Steampunk Unit because that's the kind of fun that we have. Is it going to go to the next page?
Yep, sorry.
All right. Steampunk Unit. We have 4 steampunk captains, but only 2 of us are massively active, and we're both prepping for BantuckyCon. We are actively seeking organizations or individuals to assist with Steam and Con related activities, convention related activities. We're looking for specifically one person per category. The reason this is that we're going to have a steampunk scavenger hunt. And a part of that scavenger hunt, not only does it include finding the correct vendor based on a clue, it's answering trivia questions. And then it's getting a clue to which specific activity challenge do they need to go see. So I'm hoping we'll have more than one for each of the categories, the 5 categories. I think that would be really great. Make it more challenging for them to, are you the right one? Are you have to actively think about what the clue is to get to the right activity that's coming up next. It's kind of a giveaway that it's going to be a trivia question science, trivia question technology, trivia question engineering, all the way until they get to the end. We're going to have little scorecards. There is going to be a participation fee. We're still working on that, but it's probably going to be $5 or $10 per team. and that's going to help cover expenses with the activities and any awards, unless we can get some business sponsors in, which we are always looking for and desperate need of. We do have several ideals for activities, but we could help refining them. We kind of talked about doing the Coke and Mentos and why that would be a bad idea when somebody is allergic to bee stings. So we got to rethink me blowing stuff up. We would like to put, Mikey, can you please put on your calendar for Tuesday to reach out to the vendors group and all of any vendors that we have signing up, if they would like to have a trivia question at their booth. So what that does is it gets the kids and the tag along parent, a guardian, or if it's an adult group or a mixed age group, that gets them coming to your booth to see specifically what you have to sell. And they answer, and you'd ask them a question and they get to answer. The bonus to this, participating vendors, we will put a small logo on our goodie bags. Then the cutoff for this is October 1st in order for me to get the bags here in time for BantuckyCon. So we are holding dear to that. If you have not paid by October 1st, I'm sorry, we cannot include you on any of our flyers or goodie bags because I am outsourcing them since my computer died, my printer died. And I think we're looking at 5,000 and 10,000 flyers. That's an awful lot to ask for anybody to print on their personal computer, that I am outsourcing it for this. We're going to encourage all vendors to include an item in the goodie bag, at minimum a business card. And maybe on the back of that business card, maybe give them a discount code if you sell things on the website, or a discount code that they can use at your booth if they find you later on at another event. Maybe you want to pitch in a gift card for one of our prizes for them to purchase from your online store later on. The current order is 250. They are biodegradable, bright green plastic bags. The total cost for these bags is going to be about $300. So if you are a business or an organization that would like to sponsor a nonprofit, here is one of the ways in which you can help sponsor our event to be a success. Next page. Once again, we need scavenger hunt officials and sponsors. We need first, second, and third place prizes for our different team categories. The first team category is 10 and under. Then we have 11 to 15, 16 and over. Why is that distinction on 15 and 16? Because at 16, they can drive themselves to the event. That's where we're making this distinction. If they're under 15 and they couldn't drive there by themselves, they can't drive themselves home, they need a parent or guardian to be present. Our fourth one is the blended age group. That could be, a homeschooling group that comes together that maybe comes across all of those. 16 and over is teenagers, adults that want to have their own group. They're going to have a scorecard that they're given with a goodie bag. Maximum number of team members is 5, including their adult chaperone. Once again, 15 and under must be accompanied by an adult. We do need help with volunteers to act as spotters and assistants. So if they see you that you're a steampunk scavenger hunt, and they come up and like, man, I can't find this vendor. So they just asked you a question. That's cost them 1 point. There's going to be a point system involved. The scavenger hunt is going to begin at 11 a.m. and I kind of have $10 a team right now as a tentative amount. I think that's probably going to be all right. It ends at 4 p.m. Our award ceremony is going to be 4:30 p.m. I would like to have a cosplay contest. I think that would be a lot of fun. That is a traditional thing that is done at a convention around 1 p.m. But the problem is no prizes is no contest. So we need prizes. We need donations of prizes, gift cards to anywhere, gift cards to your business, an item that you sell and make, or make and sell. My mind just retorted that. So we're going to have a discussion in the Requiem's events group on which categories do we want to offer, because I know sometimes conventions have different categories that people can place in with the best all over show. I think that's going to be a little bit high and mighty this year. I think we might just have to maybe dial it back to our theme of cowboys and aliens. I'd love to see a steampunk cowboy, steampunk alien, a cowboy alien, alien cowboy, space alien cowboys, it is actually, if it's not as limiting as people think. So have fun with our theme of being cowboys and aliens this year. Next page. Public initiative. We need a volunteer to coordinate the other volunteers and be a central point of contact for all things Nantucket-Con. Usually that's Requiem Events of Texas, which is shared between Mikey and I, or VP, we are there, but we would like to have another person who's aware of what's going on and can help be a contact. We have area groups defined by Bandera County, Kerr County, Kendall County, and City of Helotes. That is pretty much all the areas that are immediately surrounding our event, that we would like this person to reach out to those communities, specifically the school districts, to be able to promote our event and have them come, because we are very heavy into the learning portion of the event. The more we can get our information out there, if somebody has time to do this, you're going to be our hero in helping us find business sponsorships. So like I said, you may have to contact area schools for activity assistance and permission to distribute flyers on the 4th. I would absolutely be thrilled if one of the different schools comes in and says, we would like to sponsor science. We would like to sponsor technology. Ooh, Mikey, School of Science and Technology. We might want to reach out to them. They have several campuses in San Antonio, and this is right up their alley. Alex was one of the students in Corpus Christi, and we had discussed about Christopher possibly attending there if he didn't get into Del Mar College. We ask that you also reach out to area homeschooler groups for activity assistance and a point of contact to distribute physical or electronic flyers on October the 4th. That is the date that the company has told me that they will have the flyers to me. As long as I get it out to them on October the 1st, they'll have the flyers delivered by October the 4th. But we need help getting those flyers out there. Like I said, the orders are like 5,000 and 10,000 flyers. That's a lot of flyers to get into people's hands in a short amount of time. Yes, anybody who helps can self-promote at their activity booth. They can sell, if they are legal to sell, they can sell things. So that's checking to see if you need a state sales tax ID. If you're a nonprofit, you still need to collect sales tax on merchandise that you sell. If we can get enough sponsors, the scavenger hunt, I would be thrilled to make it free. But I'm being realistic in that this is our first full year having this event, that we might not have enough sponsors to make that event be free. Next page. Reach out to area businesses for activity sponsorships. Yes, they can sell the merchandise at their activity booth that they need to provide their own canopy, chairs, and tables for. We are the wind took out our canopies at Ren Fair. We did not have the finances to replace them. They were gifted to us. And yeah, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth, because we have reutilized the frames to help with framing in porches and everything else. So the frames still did get used, even though some of the poles got, and the canopies didn't like the wind. Our scavenger hunt, the activity should be free. They can charge if there is a take home or a special thing that they can add to it. Game stores can have a gaming area, either free or for a fee. That is something that they need to decide what is in their budget. We are looking for a list of locations that would be willing to post or distribute flyers starting October 4th. If you have contacts with area newspapers or other media, our event promotion is starting October the 1st with the biggest list of sponsors and vendors that we can provide. Someone might need to be willing to do a TV and or radio spot. The hazard to this is it's butt ugly in the morning. When we did the Ren Fair 2020 promotion spot, it was at Ken's 5. We had to be there at 4 a.m. Checked in, waiting in the green room for them to tell us it was our turn to be out on the news set for their community thing at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Those who know me know that I am not a morning person. There was no amount of coffee that could wake my brain up that day, and I feel like I was a bloomin' idiot, even though everybody told me I was great. So if anybody's willing to be our voice and our spokesperson, I love you for it. Or if you can figure out a way to make it happen when I can get there at a reasonable time. Go ahead, go to the next one. Requiem's events. We have several events that we're starting to bring back, specifically in conjunction with the market days at Palmarosa. Currently, our annual celebration was the third Saturday in December. I am thinking after that was great when everything was just online in 2020 and 2021. 2019 was the last time that we had a physical annual celebration. And I got to tell you, after we vended all day for our Yuletide market up front, we were very, very tired. And there's this other wonderful thing that happens in December when the sun goes down and there's no clouds in the sky. It was cold. There was no amount of fire size that we could make that didn't stop us from being really cold. So I would like to start a discussion probably in one of our groups on when we would like to have an online annual awards ceremony. I don't know if maybe we want to look at sometime in January, maybe the last weekend of January. I know we've got our board meeting the last Saturday in January. I don't know if we want to try to do an evening or something. We'll put a poll out in the Requiem's events, get a kind of feel for it. Nantucket Con is the fourth Saturday of October. It will be the fourth Saturday of October from now until we have a very compelling reason to change it. The Black Pirate Market has been moved to the third Saturday of November, and it will stay there because the fourth Saturday involves Thanksgiving weekend. That is a lot of competition that we just don't want to do. We were doing Black Pirate Market on Black Friday, hence why it's the Black Pirate Steals and Deals, and it was a market. Yeah, it was hit or miss. We had a couple years where we had a fantastic turnout, and a couple years where everyone got tired of just sitting there doing nothing, and they packed up and left, and then all the customers showed up. So we are no longer doing a Black Friday market unless we have a permanent retail store to go with it. The Homesteaders and Preppers Bazaar, we're going to hold them on third Saturdays in conjunction with market days at Palmarosa as a mini theme. I think we only have maybe 2 activities for September 17th for the fall Homesteaders and Preppers Bazaar. I'm providing the ingredients for the Soapy Mama to make a batch of cold processed soap. And we're diligently eating Pringles out of the little snack cans so that if people want to take some fresh soap home with them and be proud of their creation that they helped make, we'll be gladly to do that. It is probably, if we're providing the can, I think I have prices set out somewhere for if somebody brings their own Pringles can, or if we're providing the can and everything else, and to help cover our ingredients. The spring one is going to be the third Saturday in March of 2023. So we've got plenty of time to plan and find vendors and activities relating to homesteading and prepping. I know we've talked about in the past about getting the ham radio group to come out and to give a class on that. We've had people sell baby chicks and baby ducks that were appropriately tested, PT tested for any diseases and stuff. They have to have all the proper licensing to be able to sell those not on their property. And I think we've had like hot house, early veggies and stuff that was sold. Market Days of Palmarosa is the third Saturday from September until May. Ren Fair Bandera County is the first Saturday of May. That is the best time in which we are not having to compete with any of the big guys. I know some years that means that people will be done with Sherwood the weekend before and they may not have a weekend break. But there's one in Waxahachie it starts running in May. So based on our sphere of influence, which is a 4-hour drive, the first Saturday of May has the least conflicting other similar events. The Yuletide Market is typically the Saturday before Christmas. This year, that means it is the third Saturday. So Yuletide Market and our Old World Santa will be there. We try to keep it nice and calm for those who have little ones that don't need all the extra stimulation. As previously stated, it was the Saturday before Christmas. It was very not well attended. Those who did attend felt rushed. I'd like to propose the fourth Saturday of January at 6 p.m. It gets us past the holiday rush. It's pretty much too chilly in Texas for vending, and we tend to take January off. I will still go up to the market days. If anybody wants to vend in January on the third Saturday, please let me know so that I can let Miss BB know. Otherwise, I will still be up there to help. I think it's Viva la Mexico is the theme for that. It's actually National Mariachi Day. So I might see if I can find a mariachi band. Next one. Next. I think I kind of went over all of these, so we might be able to just flip through the pages.
Are you not
Kentucky
seeing
Con.
it? Okay.
There we go, Kentucky Con, October 22nd. Early setup for vendors will be available on Friday starting at noon until 8 p.m. Currently, I do not know if I need to talk with Miss BB to see if she's going to be doing camping rentals, site rentals. Otherwise, at 8 p.m., everybody needs to be off. Anyone who is a vendor or associated with a vendor, unless you have paid to camp, you will be asked to leave at 8 p.m. The gates will reopen at 8 a.m. Our applications officially close on October the 20th, and you do need to pay as soon as you receive your invoice, because once again, there's absolutely no payments at the gate. Don't try to tell Roshana that you know Robin and that Robin said it was okay. I am Robin. I am Roshana. It's not okay. BB is already letting everybody know that might be vending that she's coming from. They need to pay in advance. There's no payment at the door. That's it. Gates will open at 10 a.m. for guests. Attendance is free, which means walking through the gate, we're not going to charge you. Most activities will have a small fee attached to them to cover the costs of supplies. Mikey, did you have any questions? With this being your second event where you're more heavily involved?
Yeah, because Ren Fair was the first one.
Yep.
Super excited. I would definitely like to possibly have a Zoom meeting with the vendors, maybe that Sunday before, in case they have any questions or they're confused about something.
Once again, the Fall Bazaar is going to be September 17th at the market days. The two planned activities that I know of, because I'm helping make them happen, is soap making basics, cold process, and the end of Clucker, how to process a duck. We had 14 ducklings hatch this year, and we have 5 that are very much drakes. We already had our first a-hole attack from one of them, and I'm like,
oh my gosh,
Bubba D, I got your number. And that number comes up on September 17th. I was originally going to bring all of our excess roosters and all of our drakes, and looking at how well I did not handle yesterday, and how well I did not handle Ren Fair, I have to keep my health in mind, because if I'm out and I'm sick, everyone is still kind of lost, because everyone is still relatively new to Guilds of Requiem.
Still learning.
Hi. I'm being summoned. Spring Bazaar is going to be March 18th. Activity planning is open. If you are vending and wanting to offer an activity, please make sure you have someone to cover your booth or request an extra 10 by 10 space for the demonstration next to your booth. That will be the only way in which you can have an extra large booth essentially for free. You still need to pay your vending fee for your initial 10 by 10 booth, but we will set aside a space next to you if you're going to be presenting an activity. Activities and vendors should be related to homesteading and self-reliance. I don't think there's any room for fudging on that. Yeah, no, I don't think there's any room for fudging on that. So that's kind of our focus on the September and March markets. While everyone is welcome to that sells products or is a vendor, just kind of keep in mind that we are doing mini themes to each of the market days at Pomarosa. So that may be, something to keep in mind on whether that is a good fit for your products or not. Next. What? Say hi, Cletus.
Hi, Cletus.
Oh. Hi, I love you. Are you hugging? Market days at Pomarosa is the third Saturday, reiterating that's the third Saturday from September to May. Oh. Yes, you're fine. You're fine. It's okay. September 17th is the Fall Homesteaders and Preppers Bazaar. We're kind of having fun on October 15th with a Bazaar. November 19th is Black Pirate Market. We are encouraging our vendors to show up in any era of pirate costume that they like. If they know how to talk like a pirate, you'd be my best matey. We also recommend that our vendors have some sort of steals and deals. We are still debating on if we want to have a pure barter area. That's something I need to get up and talk to Miss Beebe about before we offer, whether it's going to be free or reduced or whatever for the barter area. December 17th is once again our Yuletide market. We will have a old world Santa there. I'm thinking that I might try to invest in a backdrop. I'm not quite sure yet. Usually people have been finding the white backdrop is perfect for what they want to do. February 18th is Sip and Shop. While I would love to make this a wine or mead or other alcoholic beverage that's a part of the Sip and Shop, we are looking into the TABC regulations on that to ensure that is something that we can actually do without having to pay a huge fee to TABC for a one-time event. So please kind of keep that in mind. If you are a vendor that sells alcoholic beverages, we might not be able to allow people to consume them on property. March 18th is the Spring Homesteaders and Preppers Bazaar. April 15th is Spring Fling and Make a Date with the Market Days of the Pomarosa. May 20th is the Red, White, and Blue Market Days. It's celebrating our military with Armed Forces Day. We're almost through, I promise.
Is it taking that long for it to show up for you? Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hopefully next month we will have better internet. AT&T finally contacted us and said that fiber is now available at our address.
That's awesome.
And I'm like,
AT&T.
Now don't charge me an arm and a leg for it. Run for Bandera County.
Sorry. Ben is actually, he goes, so what company is it? And I was like, AT&T. He's all, because he works for the other.
Yeah, but the other one doesn't have fiber where I am.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, in the meantime, if we try to do more than one thing, I totally shut down the entire internet. Details for Run Fair Bandera County. It is going to be the first Saturday of May, May the 6th. At this time, it is a one-day event. We found that the two-day event was very taxing on a lot of vendors. A lot of it had to do with the unusually hot temperatures we had the first weekend in May. So that is something we try to keep in mind. We did allow vendors to leave early because we were seeing a high instances. To me, anytime we have more than 2 people in our first aid station complaining of dehydration and possible heat exhaustion, that is too many. 1 is way too many, but I understand if you are already prone to it, it happens. Yeah, we watched a couple of our vendors actually, you know, one of our vendors actually passed out on Saturday. That we helped them pack everything up and made sure that there was somebody safe to drive them. And I think we made the decision at like 4 o'clock to close on Saturday.
Yeah.
4 or 5 o'clock. I know it was like we had like 1 or 2 hours left. And Sunday was just as brutal with the heat, and we saw high winds that we watched vendors' canopies go flying. We watched one of our own canopies come crashing down. That we said, you know what, it's the weather is causing too many losses for everybody. And, you know, I would rather cut vendors loose early and have people be disappointed that we closed early than to have a vendor lose absolutely everything. Six Sense Apothecary actually experienced that at Ren Fair 2020. We had high winds and rain, and at some point the rain came into the tent and drenched all the soaps.
Yep.
And I think we had a couple of artists lose stuff too. Excuse me. Applications are going to open November 1st. The reason that is I need a week off. And so I can also walk Mikey through the process of creating the applications and updating the website and everything else. Applications will close May the 1st. Once again, absolutely no payments at the gate. This year is our third full year Ren Fair Bandera County. Vendors, you will need to dress in appropriate attire. If you do not have access to funding for the appropriate attire, we're going to ask that you let us know. We're going to ask that you let us what you are going to wear, which should be a shirt that advertises your business. And we're going to let you know right now that you're probably not going to be in a prime location. That was the #1 comment feedback that we got from Ren Fair this year, 2022, is that they were expecting to see more people, especially the vendors, be in Renaissance attire. We allow for any era, genre. We allow for fantasy and fae. We allow for Vikings. We allow for medieval. But we ask that you do come in attire because we are trying to create the ambiance of this event. If you have something that's historically accurate, or you would like assistance with creating something that's historically accurate. I have been in reenactment since I can remember. I have absolutely no problem with helping you put together a costume. We have several thrifty people who have found things at thrift stores to create their attire for Ren Fair. So there is help out there. Camping is under discussion, and it will be an announcement that we make in March of 2023 as to whether or not camping will be available at the Palmarosa. We are currently tentatively slated for the Palmarosa for Ren Fair. Any questions, Mikey? Des, I know you're kind of hanging out there. I see you your screen flicker a little bit. Okay, let's go to the next page. Yuletide Market at the Palmarosa is going to go on December 17th. We are open to suggestions for activities. I do believe Mikey and I have tossed around fundraising gift wrapping for the Crafters and Artists Guilds and a local charity, which we'll announce no later than November 1st. I think our conversation yesterday, Mikey, is that we're once again going to support Warrior's Heart. Okay. So we will be again supporting Warrior's Heart. This will be our 5th year supporting I believe it's the Bandera Brew House. They're the drive-through beer place on Main Street in Bandera. They put together gift bags for everyone who is staying at the Warrior's Heart Rehab Center, and so this will be our fifth year contributing to those gift bags. Photos with Father Christmas. We are thinking about having a North Pole mail drop. Parents, if you have a little one that is wanting to drop their letter off to Santa, please have your email address or your regular address on there. If you do not know what their letter already to Santa contains, Santa's helpers will make sure that you know what's there. I am hoping to try to maybe network with the local Toys for Tots so that we might be able to help fulfill some of those Christmas wish lists. That is something I don't know. I think maybe I need to reach out to Silver Sage. They might know who would be able to help with that. Biggest thing is if you want to know what's contained in there because they wrote the letter on their own, try to get your email address legibly on the back of it, and we will, tell you the contents of it. A physical address if you'd like a personalized letter from Father Christmas. This is all depending on the post office coming through and being able to deliver before Christmas or right around Christmas. You just got to remember that the North Pole to Pipe Creek is an awful lot of mail stops. Okay. Like I said, we would love to network with a local organization for a wish list fulfillment. Do you have any questions, Mikey, that you can think of right now?
Not right now.
Okay.
But
also,
I want to make the mailbox.
Yeah. And also anybody, we have this recorded. We're going to put it up on YouTube channel probably by Monday or Tuesday morning, because we'll go in and we'll edit out some of the goofing around. But if you ever have a question about anything that's happening on our meetings, please feel free to comment. Please feel free to email us. It's customerservice@guildsofrequiem.com. Mikey, I believe this is our last deal. So if there's any general questions that you or Desiree may have that I did not answer in my long rambling today, I actually kind of went over time, I think.
24 minutes. That's all.
Yeah, well, we started at 10 after, so.
Oh, well then, yeah, just 14 minutes. It's okay.
We saw you briefly, Desiree, but you're muted. Okay, you want to go ahead and
It's a private conversation to have off camera.
Okay.
Gotcha. We will go ahead and stop our share then, and we hope everybody has a wonderful, 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 wonderful month. Hit stop recording.
Stop recording.